Welcome to Milestone Moments, the show where we explore the journeys that lead to success. I'm Sheila Slick, your host and founder of 5 Milestones. In every episode, we will bring you insights from the minds of entrepreneurs, leaders, and experts who will share not just their expertise, but the milestone moments that have reshaped their journeys and led to significant achievements. So if you're looking for motivation, you're in the right place. Subscribe now and discover the milestones that mark the path to success. Welcome to another episode of Milestone Moments in Business and Leadership. Today, my special guest, Bianca Smith, is joining us from Spain. Bianca is the founder of Simplified Marketing Services, a marketing agency helping financial professionals and coaches simplify their business through content marketing. She's a wife, a mom of 3, and a retired military spouse and veteran. She's all about work-life integration and teaching others how to simplify their lives and marketing strategies. Welcome to the show, Bianca.
Thank you, Sheila. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about how you got to being the owner of a marketing agency today in Spain.
Yes. So, as you said, I say retired military spouse because my husband is retired, but he still works for the U.S. government, which is why we are in Madrid, Spain. I've been here for, I say 10 years total because we lived here before. My husband retired from here. Then we went to some other countries and then came back. You know, when your kids get older and being overseas, a lot of times being in the military, you can't work on the economy. And so you're almost forced to kind of become a stay-at-home mom. A lot of people go back to school, or in my case, you start a business. And so when we were stationed in Cuba, I decided to start a vinyl shop. So making t-shirts, making wine glasses, making keychains. It was going great. I was doing craft fairs every 3 months. And then we moved from Cuba back to Spain, and I decided to open a bookkeeping firm because when I was in Cuba, I got my master's degree in accounting. And again, moving to Spain, couldn't work again. And so I said, okay, my kids are in middle school. They're all a year apart. I have this master's degree in accounting. I left my job in banking. What am I going to do all day? And went online like most people, how to work from home. And somebody pointed me to a Facebook page for like military spouses and veterans to find legit remote work from home jobs. And I joined that group and I became their ambassador because I love what they were doing. And through that ambassadorship, I got 2 paid internships for marketing, actually. And through one of my marketing internships, somebody was looking for a social media manager, but she was a CPA. And I almost didn't apply because I was like, oh, I'm not a VA yet. I'm kind of going through an internship. And there were so many comments. And lo and behold, I said, I'm just going to do it. And she was my client for 3 years. She pivoted. So we just stopped working last year together. And I started doing social media and VA services and bookkeeping. I decided to stop doing bookkeeping for e-commerce because it was very stressful for me to do bookkeeping for e-commerce. And I decided just to be a VA/social media manager. And then I believe it was 2022, I just decided to be a virtual assistant agency because we all know what happened. And I needed to niche down just a little bit more because I had too many clientele coming in. And I'm only one person. I can only have so many hours. And so I became a virtual assistant agency. However, a lot of our clients were in the financial space and they were coming to us primarily for social media marketing. So we got rid of VA services and I focused on a social media agency and also being a virtual assistant coach. So here I am running a social media agency and at the same time teaching people how to become a virtual assistant. So I had a monthly membership and a Facebook group and a course and group coaching. And it was a lot. It was a lot running 2 businesses with 3 kids in high school who were all back to back. And at this point, they're going to college back to back. And it was very stressful. And my husband was traveling a lot. So I went for a walk one day, came back, and quit VA coaching. That summer, I said it's going to be my last group coaching, and I stopped doing that to focus on the agency. And at that same time, we pivoted to a social media marketing agency. And just this year, we niched down a little bit further into like marketing. So we're doing not only social media, but we're dabbling a bit in the email marketing space. And as the years go by, we'll be, expanding our services.
Okay, I'm going to have to simplify that statement.
It's a lot.
It is. But what I find really fascinating, and I'm just thinking out loud here, is as a veteran, and you were offering the coaching, I know there's a lot of veterans out there that sometimes struggle going into the civilian world. Have you considered perhaps helping veterans? You've been successful in pivoting and starting all different types of businesses. You're almost like, a pure heart entrepreneur that's multifaceted in the different industries that you've served.
Helping veterans start a business, I haven't. I started actually wanting to work with veterans, like as my clientele. And at one point, I was only hiring veterans to come work in my business. And so, like, my marketing assistant is a military spouse, or hiring military spouses, because if anything, I feel veterans, they have the background, the schooling, the years in the military to kind of find a job, whereas military spouses, we move a lot and may not have that. So I wanted to kind of more support military spouses versus veterans. So it's not an avenue I have explored.
But you do hire them, because then that way you can also scale your agency so that
yes,
you can continue doing what you do, what you love. So your company helps businesses discover their marketing North Star. Can you share how finding this North Star can lead to an impactful marketing approach?
So a lot of times the industry that we serve, which is primarily the financial industry, they are very busy. As a lot of people know right now, we are in tax season. And so their marketing tends to fall off. And that's even if they do marketing. And so marketing for the financial industry could be a little bit more difficult. Sometimes just maybe a little bit of the laws behind it, where you can and can't post, which has got a little bit more lenient. And so a lot of times when clients come to work with us, they're dabbling in marketing, but it's just too much work. And at the same time, they have all of these financial clients. They may, like I said, maybe in tax season. And so it's, where do I start? But at the same time, I don't want my marketing to subside because I'm too busy. And so when they come to work with us here at the agency, our main goal with them is simplifying their marketing. It's also not only doing it for them, but teaching them. Because a lot of them don't know how to show up on video. They don't understand how to even do a story. Sometimes clients are like, what's the story? How do I do it? So we're not only doing it for them, I also want to teach them the side of marketing, because I want them to understand what we're doing, so they understand the impactfulness that we're bringing into their marketing and bringing into their business.
So what does the North Star represent?
So your North Star, the star that's so bright, right? And it's unique, and it's, for some people, it's their compass. It can be, I don't want to bring Christianity to it, but it can be like, kind of finding like your way home. And it's kind of the way I feel as marketing, because I talk about work-life integration a lot. And I feel like your work and your home is integrated, it's blended. I don't believe in a balance, because it's like, okay, you're kind of integrating it both, especially as an entrepreneur in the financial space. And a lot of our clients have kids. So they can be working one moment, then they got to tend to the baby. And then they're, working for a little bit more, and then they got to cook dinner. Then they're working a little bit more. So I like to just say, like, their North Star is just kind of bringing them home back into like this work-life integration, where they don't have to pick one over the other.
So looking back at your career and your entrepreneurial career, what's the most valuable lesson that you've learned along the way?
I would say I love to talk about different seasons in our life and that it's okay to pivot. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to try different things. Don't be like looking at all what the gurus are out there doing. Focus on you and your business. And if something's not working, it's okay to pivot. So, prime example, I have two kids in college and I have a senior in high school. So next year I have a freshman, sophomore, and junior in college. And me and my husband would be empty nesters. So here's another pivot. So even going through those seasons, I've had to adapt my business where, okay, I'm not going to take that many clients season. This season, I can go hard. And when it comes to pivoting in your business, for example, you saw earlier how I said, okay, I did bookkeeping, I did, vinyl, I did the agency. And prime example, in the fall, no, in the summer, I said, I'm going to start working with coaches again. I was just working with people in the financial space and coaches, and I took away coaches in 2023. And then in the summer, I kind of started to add them back because a lot of coaches were asking to work with us, especially when it came to content repurposing. A lot of them have podcasts and we help them repurpose that content. A lot of people in the financial space don't have podcasts. So I said, great, we'll bring them both in. However, in January, I was having a hard time with my marketing because here we have the financial industry, we have the coaching industry. I was having a hard time focusing on how to bring them together in my marketing. And I still found myself, my heart just lied with the financial industry. So I said, you know what? For 6 months, I try to bring coaches in, and we do have coaches in our agency, but it's not where my heart lies. I don't want to. They're not like my niche who I enjoy truly working with. It truly is the financial industry because that is my background. And so, yeah, actually, it was in February last month. I was talking to my coach and I was like, my marketing feels off. And she was like, this isn't what you want to do. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do it. And literally the next day, I did sleep on it. I went and took away, like rearranged my bio, rearranged my website, and I'm pivoting right now. And will it change? I don't know. It might change in the future, but I pivot a lot and I think it's okay. But at the end of the day, my branding stay consistent. My marketing is consistent. And I think the financial space is what people truly know me for. Financial industry is our main focus.
The marketing landscape is also always pivoting. How can we adapt and thrive in such a dynamic environment to make sure our marketing strategies remain effective and relevant?
I would recommend that you either follow people in the marketing space that stays up with the trends so that you're staying up with the trend if you don't have a marketing team. For our clients, they don't have to worry about it. We literally dedicate a day. Every single Thursday, we dedicate 2 to 3 hours where we are doing training. So we're going through podcasts. We're going through people that we follow. We go through like thought leaders in this space where we're learning. Okay, Instagram is changing. LinkedIn is making major changes. So we keep up to date with what's going on. Not only that, we test things on our own feed on our agency. So you'll see like at one moment when it came to Reel, we weren't using covers. And now we're going back to using Reel covers. I may change our story strategy. Right now, we're doing LinkedIn without any graphics, just on our own feed to see how it's working before we bring it into our clients. But if you don't have a marketing team, you can just follow like some marketing strategists like myself. I have a newsletter that go out every week. And at the bottom of that newsletter, it has marketing news. I give you the latest marketing news on what's happening that week. And so that you can tailor your marketing strategy to what's going on in the world right now. But you don't have to, I would say, be on every single platform, right? So like right now, LinkedIn is a little bit trending right now. So if you're not on LinkedIn, I recommend is the place to be right now. Get in before it gets to be a little bit too much. And dedicate, and if this is your business, marketing is a big part of your business. Dedicate a day of training just like we do and try things. It doesn't hurt to try because Reels may not be great for one client, but it's great for another. Another client may thrive on stories. Another one doesn't. Another one may thrive on Instagram, but another one thrives on LinkedIn. So really finding out where your ideal client is hanging out. For us in the financial space, it's LinkedIn. So we spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has the top marketing voice, which is what our agency has right now. And so, yeah, if you have a business, you have to do marketing and set aside some time to just learn and try. It's an experiment. I feel like everything's an experiment, and just have fun with that. I think when you have fun and you're not worried about, what everybody else thinks. And like I said, carousels work great for some. It doesn't work great for others.
So what's your next milestone?
Oh, my next milestone. So, personally, my last kid goes to college in August. The husband and I will be empty nesters. We are moving again. We're moving from Spain to another country, but I don't want to say if anybody knows the military, we say nothing until we get paperwork in hand. So it looks like in September and October, we'll be moving to another country. And the next big milestone for business is starting a podcast. So I'm going to be having a podcast come out called Simplified Marketing, and it's going to be geared towards the financial industry, but anybody can take tips because it's all about marketing. But I don't want to be another marketing agency. I like to simplify things. I want to make it easy for you. I want to give you small, bite-sized, actionable items, but also talk about work-life integration. Talk about how it's a blend and how you, take time to, go for a walk, travel, get from behind your desk, do unplugged vacation, do a plugged vacation, but also like just integrate in both of those. Because to me, like I said, I think they're just one.
Before I let you go, how can my audience follow you or find you?
Yes. So I'm on Instagram. I love that platform. I'm in stories all day, every day. I'm doing a lot of behind the scenes of my life, or personally and business wise. So you can find me at Simplified Marketing Services on Instagram and LinkedIn as well at Simplified Marketing Services.
Well, thank you so much for your time. What would be your one key piece of advice that you can give our listeners, either work-life integration or living that simplified life?
Yeah, just when it comes to your marketing, keep it simple. A lot of us are not influencers, so we do not have to be posting 3 times a day, every single day. Find that sweet spot. For example, we're a marketing agency and I only post 4 days a week on Instagram. I do post 5 days a week on LinkedIn, but I just started that because I'm testing right now. And before it was 3 days, and you can see posts a week later on LinkedIn. So do whatever that's comfortable for you. Focus on one platform. So just focus on that one platform your ideal client is on. Let's say that's LinkedIn. Just learn everything you can about LinkedIn. Be really good on that platform. Really speak to your clients on that platform. And then maybe bring in Instagram, 1 day a week, then 2 day a week. So that's what I would say as far as just simplifying your marketing and just keep it simple.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in for another episode of Milestone Moments in Business and Leadership.